Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. The key to success is building the habits of successful people. Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Do you want to know the exact habits that successful people swear by to achieve their goals and dreams? In this video, I'm going to share the 10 habits that have transformed the lives of countless successful people. These aren't just tips, these are real and actionable habits that you can start right now to see results in your life. If you've ever wondered why some people succeed while others struggle, the answer lies in these habits we're about to reveal. The good news is that these habits are simple to learn, and you can start applying them today. Number 1, they set clear goals. If you're going to be successful, the first thing you need to understand is that successful people set clear goals. It's as simple as that. You can't expect to get anywhere if you don't know where you're headed. Think of it like this. If you're driving somewhere, you need a destination. If you don't have one, you'll waste time, energy, and resources, and you'll never get anywhere. Goals are your destination. They guide you, they keep you focused, and they ensure you're making progress in the right direction. Now, most people think setting goals is just about writing them down, but it's more than that. It's about clarity. It's about knowing exactly what you want and why you want it. Because when you know why you want something, you'll be able to push through any obstacle that comes your way. And believe me, obstacles will come. It's not if, it's when. But if you have a clear goal, if you know exactly where you're going and why you're going there, those obstacles won't stop you. They'll become just another part of the journey. I've seen it 1,000 times. Successful people don't just set goals. They make their goals non-negotiable. It's not a wish list or something they hope for. It's something they decide is going to happen. They commit to it. They write it down. They look at it every day. And every single action they take is driven by that goal. They break it down into smaller, manageable steps, and they execute them day after day. It's like building a house. You wouldn't try to build it all at once, right? You start with the foundation, then the frame, and before you know it, you have a finished product. Successful people break their goals down into smaller, actionable tasks. They know that big things don't happen overnight. They don't get discouraged when things take longer than expected because they understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint. You don't rush the process. You trust the process. And that comes from having a clear vision, a well-defined goal, and a strong reason why you're pursuing it. And here's something you need to understand. Setting clear goals isn't just about financial success or career achievements. It's about your personal growth, your health, your relationships, your mental well-being. All of these areas require goals if you want to see progress. You can't just hope for things to get better. You need a game plan. You need clarity. When you set clear goals, it changes your entire mindset. It shifts your focus. Instead of worrying about what you don't have, you start focusing on what you can do to get what you want. You don't make excuses. You don't blame other people. You take responsibility for your success, and you do what it takes. You set your goals, you go after them, and you don't stop until you reach them. But it's not enough just to set goals. You need to believe in them. Success starts in your mind. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe your goals are achievable, you'll quit before you even start. Successful people know how to work on their mindset. They don't just set clear goals. They have unwavering belief that they can achieve them. This belief comes from knowing their purpose, their why, and their ability to take consistent action toward their goal. You need to develop that same belief. If you set a goal, don't just write it down and forget about it. Don't let it collect dust. Keep your goals alive. Keep them at the forefront of your mind. Visualize your success. Picture yourself achieving your goals and feel the emotions of success as if it's already happening. Every successful person I've ever met knows exactly where they want to go, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. But let me tell you something else. They also know that success isn't just about the end result. It's about the journey. It's about the daily habits, the small steps, and the lessons learned along the way. Success isn't a destination, it's a way of life. And that starts with setting clear, meaningful goals. So what does that mean for you? It means that if you want to be successful, you need to start by defining what success looks like to you. Don't let someone else define it for you. What does your ideal life look like? What do you want to achieve in the next 6 months, 1 year, or 5 years? Get specific, get clear, and then make a plan to get there. Set your goals and make them your priority. Every single day, take at least one step toward your goal. It doesn't have to be a giant leap, but it needs to be consistent. The truth is, you don't need to have everything figured out. But you do need to know your direction. You do need to know where you're going. And as you take steps toward your goals, you'll figure out the rest along the way. But without clear goals, you'll be wandering around aimlessly, waiting for life to happen to you. The most successful people I know aren't lucky. They're focused. They set their goals, they break them down, and they execute every single day. And you can do the same. So, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you have everything figured out. Start now. Write your goals down. Make them clear, make them real, and take action toward them. You have everything you need to succeed inside of you, but you won't get anywhere unless you set clear goals. Number 2, they take responsibility for their life. Successful people take full responsibility for their lives. They don't make excuses, and they don't blame others when things go wrong. The moment you blame others, the moment you point fingers, you're giving away your power. You're saying, "It's not my fault. I didn't have control over this." And that's exactly the moment you stop growing. Success starts with owning your life, your actions, and your decisions. It means taking full responsibility for everything that happens to you, whether it's good or bad. This isn't always easy to hear, especially when things aren't going well, but it's the harsh truth. Life is not always fair. We all face challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. But the way we respond to these challenges is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Let me make this clear. Successful people don't sit around waiting for someone to save them. They don't wait for the right circumstances, or the right people, or the right opportunities. They understand that they control their life. They understand that everything, every outcome, is shaped by their actions and decisions. They take responsibility for their results. If something goes wrong, they don't say, "It's their fault," or "I couldn't help it." They say, "What can I learn from this?" They say, "How can I get better next time?" Taking responsibility is not about blaming yourself when things go wrong. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about asking the tough questions. What did I do to contribute to this situation? How can I improve next time? When you take responsibility for your actions, you can learn from your mistakes. You can grow, you can improve, and you can move forward with confidence. Think about it. How much power do you really have when you blame other people? Not much. If you're blaming your boss, your coworkers, your friends, your parents, or anyone else, you're giving them control over your life. You're allowing them to dictate your future. You're saying that your success is out of your hands and depends on someone else. But when you take responsibility for your life, you claim your power back. You realize that no matter what happens, you have the ability to shape your future. This is where growth begins. The most successful people I've met are the ones who refuse to give anyone or anything else the power to determine their fate. They take charge of their own lives. They take full responsibility for their actions. And because of that, they're in control. They don't wait for life to hand them opportunities. They create opportunities for themselves. But here's the key. Taking responsibility is not just about accepting the good things in your life. It's about owning the mistakes, the failures, and the challenges. Successful people know that failure is just a part of the process. It's not the end of the road. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. They don't run from failure, they embrace it. They know that it's not the failure itself that matters. It's what you do after the failure that counts. Do you quit or do you learn? Do you stay down or do you get back up and keep going? When you take responsibility for your life, you stop making excuses. You stop blaming the economy, your background, your family, or anything else. You start looking at what you can do, how you can act, how you can change. You realize that where you are right now is a result of your choices. And when you realize that, you also realize that you have the power to change it. You can decide to make better choices today and every day from now on. You can take action and you can improve your life. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is going to be perfect. Life is never perfect. But when you take responsibility, you become proactive instead of reactive. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and you start taking action to improve them. If you're not where you want to be in life, don't blame your circumstances. Don't blame other people. Take responsibility. Ask yourself, what can I do differently? And then make the changes necessary to move forward. This is the difference between people who stay stuck and people who rise above. Those who stay stuck are the ones who blame everything and everyone for their situation. The ones who rise above are the ones who say, I can do better. I will do better. I'm going to take control of my life and my future. They understand that life is a series of choices, and those choices will shape their destiny. They choose to be responsible for their actions. They choose to learn from their mistakes. They choose to improve every day. When you take responsibility for your life, you also stop comparing yourself to others. Successful people don't waste time looking at someone else's life and wishing they had what they have. They don't focus on what others are doing or achieving. They focus on themselves. They focus on how they can improve, how they can get better, how they can move forward. They understand that their success is not dependent on anyone else. It's up to them to take action, make decisions, and move forward. Another important aspect of taking responsibility is acknowledging that your decisions today will impact your future. Everything you do today matters. The small choices you make add up over time. If you want to be successful, you need to make the right choices today. The little habits you build now, whether they're good or bad, will determine where you are in the future. Successful people know this. They take responsibility for the small things. They make sure they are doing the right things today to ensure they're moving toward their goals tomorrow. If you're not happy with where you are right now, it's time to take responsibility for your life. Look at what you've been doing up until this point. Look at your habits, your decisions, and your mindset. If you're not where you want to be, change it. Don't wait for someone else to make things happen for you. Take action. Take responsibility. Don't let life pass you by. Take control of your future and start making the choices that will lead you to success. Remember, life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to what happens. You are the one in charge. You are the one who gets to decide how your story goes. So, take responsibility for your life and take action. The power is in your hands. If you don't like where you're headed, change course. It's all up to you. Number 3, they have discipline. If you want to succeed, there's no way around it. You need discipline. It's as simple as that. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's not about always being motivated. It's about showing up even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Successful people understand this, and they live by it every day. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Success is not built on a foundation of comfort. It's built on doing what's necessary, even when you'd rather be doing something else. It's waking up early when you'd rather stay in bed. It's putting in the work when you'd rather be out having fun. It's sticking to your commitments when it feels easier to quit. Discipline is what keeps you going when the excitement wears off. And trust me, it always wears off. But the disciplined ones, those are the people who keep pushing, even when things get tough. You see, it's easy to be excited when you're starting something new. Everyone feels motivated at the beginning. But what separates the successful people from the ones who give up is the ability to stay disciplined. The ones who don't succeed are the ones who let their emotions and fleeting desires dictate their actions. They chase temporary pleasures and distractions. They fall victim to procrastination and waste their time on things that don't move them closer to their goals. Discipline is about focusing on what matters, even when the world around you is screaming for your attention. It's about shutting out the noise and staying focused on your purpose. Successful people don't waste their time scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, or indulging in things that don't serve them. They know how to avoid distractions. They don't allow the small, unimportant things to steal their time and energy. They understand that every minute they waste on trivial things is a minute they could have spent getting closer to their goals. And they don't take that lightly. When you have discipline, you are in control of your life. You are the one who decides how you use your time, how you direct your energy, and what you focus on. You understand that every action you take is either moving you closer to your goals or taking you farther away from them. Successful people know this. They don't allow themselves to get sidetracked by things that don't matter. They know what's important and they make it a priority. But here's the thing. Building discipline isn't easy. It's hard. There will be days when you don't feel like working. There will be days when you're tired, when you'd rather relax, when the temptation to procrastinate is strong. But successful people don't give in to those feelings. They understand that feelings aren't always reliable guides. Just because you don't feel like doing something doesn't mean it's not necessary. In fact, that's usually when you need discipline the most. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up every day and doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's about sticking to your plan, even when the motivation fades. And let me tell you something. Successful people have discipline because they know it's a long-term game. They understand that success doesn't happen overnight. It's built through consistent effort over time. And the only way to build that kind of success is through discipline. Imagine this. You're waking up every day at the same time. No excuses. You're working on your goals every single day. Even when it feels like there's no immediate reward, you're pushing through the tough days. Not because it's easy, but because you know the payoff is worth it. This is the life of someone who's disciplined. They understand that the road to success is long and requires patience, persistence, and hard work. They understand that every small step they take today will bring them closer to where they want to be tomorrow. But what happens when you don't have discipline? When you let distractions take over? When you let procrastination win? Nothing changes. Your goals stay out of reach. You waste time that could have been spent working towards something meaningful. You keep putting off the hard work, and the results never come. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of the world, but if you want to make a difference in your life, you have to silence that noise and focus on what matters. Discipline is also about making sacrifices. It's about doing what others won't do. While your friends are out partying, you're putting in the work. While others are scrolling through their phones, you're reading, learning, and growing. Discipline means doing the uncomfortable things that others shy away from. It's about pushing yourself past your comfort zone and sticking with it, even when it gets hard. Success doesn't come to those who are always comfortable. It comes to those who are willing to be uncomfortable, to do what others won't do, and to push through the challenges. But here's the good news. The more disciplined you become, the easier it gets. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The more you practice discipline in one area of your life, the more it spills over into other areas. You start to develop habits that support your goals. You start to build a routine that moves you closer to your dreams. You start to prioritize your time better. And before you know it, discipline becomes second nature. And let me tell you, the rewards of discipline are huge. Discipline gives you control. It gives you the power to shape your life and your future. When you have discipline, you can create the life you want. You can reach your goals, build your dreams, and live with purpose. You won't be at the mercy of your emotions or your impulses. Instead, you'll be guided by your vision and your purpose. And that, my friend, is how success is built. Number 4, they are committed to self-development. You will never reach your full potential if you stop growing as a person. Never. If you get to a point in life where you think you know it all, where you think you've learned enough, or where you settle for being good enough, you've already started to decline. That's the brutal truth. Successful people understand that growth never stops. They are relentless in their pursuit of self-improvement. They know that in order to reach new heights, they must continuously evolve. They don't just want success. They want to become the best version of themselves. So what do they do differently? They make self-development a non-negotiable part of their lives. Successful people are always learning, always. And that learning doesn't stop at school or formal education. It's not about the degree or certificate you hold. It's about the willingness to keep growing. They understand that knowledge is power, and they seek it out at every opportunity. They read books, they listen to podcasts, they attend seminars, they seek mentors, they ask questions. They search for ways to improve themselves, both personally and professionally. And the best part, they never think they've learned enough. There's always more to know, always more to learn. And that's the mindset that keeps them moving forward. But here's the catch. Learning requires effort. You have to put in the time, the energy, and the commitment. Self-development isn't going to happen while you're scrolling through social media or binge-watching TV shows. You have to be intentional about it. Successful people carve out time in their schedules to learn and grow. Whether it's reading for 30 minutes each morning or listening to a podcast on their commute, they make sure they're feeding their minds with the right information. They understand that knowledge is like fuel. The more you feed your mind, the more you can do, the more you can accomplish, and the more opportunities open up for you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that they're done once they reach a certain point in life. But let me tell you something. Life doesn't stop. If you stop growing, the world will pass you by. You'll fall behind, and you'll get stuck in the same place while others continue to move forward. Successful people never let that happen to them. They are always hungry for more. They want to learn, grow, and improve every single day. They're not content with the status quo, and that's why they achieve things most people only dream of. Self-development isn't just about learning new skills, it's about expanding your mind. When you commit to self-development, you expand your thinking. You start to see the world differently. You realize that there are limitless opportunities out there and you're equipped to seize them. The more you learn, the more your mind opens up to new possibilities. You start to look at challenges as opportunities to grow, not obstacles. You begin to understand that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. Successful people are also deeply committed to improving their character. Personal development isn't just about achieving external success. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle that success. It's about building traits like resilience, perseverance, patience, and emotional intelligence. They know that success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become in the process. So they invest in their personal growth just as much as they invest in their careers. But here's where most people go wrong. They think that success will come automatically. They believe that once they achieve something, they'll just coast from there. But that's not the reality. The truth is, the moment you stop developing, you start regressing. You can't remain static in a world that's constantly changing. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. There's always something more you can learn. There's always room for improvement. And that's the mindset you need to adopt if you want to be successful. Self-development isn't just about reading books or taking courses. It's about taking action. It's about applying what you learn to your life. You can read all the self-help books in the world, but if you're not implementing the lessons, it doesn't matter. Successful people understand that the key to growth is action. They take what they learn and immediately put it into practice. They try new things, they fail, they learn from their mistakes, and they keep going. And that's how they get better. That's how they build momentum. One of the most powerful ways successful people develop themselves is by seeking out mentors. They know that they can't do it alone. No one can. They look for people who have walked the path before them, people who can teach them what they don't know and help them avoid mistakes. Mentorship is one of the fastest ways to accelerate your growth. But to benefit from a mentor, you have to be open to learning. You have to be willing to accept advice, even if it's hard to hear. Successful people are humble enough to seek guidance and wise enough to listen to it. Let me be clear about something. You have to own your own development. No one else can do it for you. No one else can read the books for you, listen to the podcasts for you, or take the courses for you. You are in charge of your own growth. It's up to you to make the decision every day to learn and grow. And when you take that responsibility seriously, you'll start to see a shift in your life. You'll notice that your opportunities increase, your confidence builds, and your results improve. Self-development is a lifelong journey. It's not something that ends after a few books or seminars. It's something that continues as long as you're breathing. Successful people understand this. They understand that they are always evolving, always learning, always improving. And that's why they stay ahead. That's why they achieve greatness. Number 5, they read daily. It's one of the most common habits among successful people, and it's one that we often overlook. The truth is, reading is like exercise for your brain. When you read regularly, you keep your mind sharp, just like how lifting weights keeps your body strong. You expand your thinking, broaden your perspective, and most importantly, you gain the knowledge you need to succeed. Think about it. In today's world, there's an endless amount of information out there, but most people are wasting that time, scrolling mindlessly through social media, watching pointless TV shows, or just feeling bored. Successful people don't waste that time. They use it wisely. They recognize that every minute is an opportunity to learn and grow, so they make a habit of reading. Not because it's easy, but because it's effective. They know that what they consume mentally shapes their lives. And if they want to become better, they need to feed their minds with valuable information. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't have time to read. I hear you. Life is busy, and it can feel like there's just not enough hours in the day. But here's the thing. Successful people don't make excuses. They make time. They're not necessarily reading for hours every day, but they're consistently feeding their minds, whether it's a book, an article, or even an audiobook. They make sure they're always consuming something that helps them grow. And don't get caught up on the format of reading either. You don't have to sit down with a physical book if that doesn't work for you. Audiobooks are a great alternative. You can listen while you're commuting, working out, or doing chores around the house. The key is to find ways to incorporate learning into your daily routine. If you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to an audiobook. It's about consistently feeding your brain with valuable content. Here's the thing about reading. It sharpens your thinking. Every time you read something, you're stretching your mind and making it more capable of handling complex ideas. You're learning new perspectives, discovering new concepts, and getting better at problem solving. This isn't just about reading for the sake of reading. It's about actively developing your mind so that you can think better, faster, and more clearly. Reading also opens up doors to success by giving you tools to succeed. Think about all the people who have written books, created courses, or shared their experiences. Successful people know that the best way to learn from others is by consuming their knowledge. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can learn from those who have already been where you want to go. Their experiences, struggles, and lessons are right there in books and articles, ready for you to absorb. Why would you waste that opportunity? Why would you skip the chance to learn from someone who's already paved the way? The great part about reading is that it's not limited to just business books. Successful people read widely. They read self-improvement books, biographies, fiction, and anything that helps them grow. They don't limit themselves to a narrow field of knowledge, because they know that the more diverse their knowledge, the more equipped they are to handle any situation. A wide range of reading material expands your creativity and helps you connect ideas in ways you wouldn't have if you only read one type of book. But I understand it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to fall into the trap of scrolling through social media or watching shows that don't add anything to your life. But successful people aren't focused on entertainment in the same way. They understand that entertainment is important, but it's secondary to their personal development. They prioritize their growth, which is why they're always reading and consuming content that will help them move forward. And let's be honest, reading isn't always easy. It can be difficult to sit down and focus, especially when life throws distractions your way. But that's where discipline comes in. Successful people don't wait for the perfect moment to read, they make the moment happen. They carve out time every single day, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, to read something that will help them grow. They do it consistently, even when they don't feel like it, because they know that success isn't about doing what's easy, it's about doing what's necessary. Another reason successful people read is that they want to stay ahead of the game. The world is constantly changing. Industries evolve, new technologies emerge, and trends shift. If you're not reading and learning, you risk being left behind. Successful people are always staying informed. They're always looking for ways to stay at the top of their game, and reading is one of the best ways to do that. By staying informed and educated, they keep themselves ahead of the curve and are ready to capitalize on new opportunities as they arise. But it's not just about reading to get ahead. Reading also helps you develop as a person. Successful people don't just read to gain knowledge. They read to build character. They read books that inspire them, challenge them, and push them to be better. They seek out books that teach them how to handle adversity, how to deal with setbacks, and how to stay focused on their goals. Reading for them is not just about information, it's about transformation. So how do you get started? First, set aside time every day to read. It doesn't have to be a lot. Even if you start with just 15 minutes a day, it will make a difference over time. Pick up a book that interests you, that challenges you, that makes you think. If you're not a fan of reading, start with audiobooks. Find a way to make it work in your life, but make sure you do it every day. And remember, it's not about reading fast, it's about reading consistently. The more you read, the more your thinking will improve. And the more prepared you'll be to take on whatever challenges come your way. The more you feed your mind, the more you grow. Successful people know that. And that's why reading is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. It's one of the simplest, yet most effective ways to improve your life and set yourself up for success. Don't wait for success to come to you. Start feeding your mind, and it will eventually lead you where you want to go. Number 6, they manage their time effectively. Successful people understand this better than anyone else. They treat time like gold. They don't waste it. They don't take it for granted. Instead, they use it wisely, strategically, and intentionally to move closer to their goals every single day. And if you want to join the ranks of successful people, you have to start managing your time more effectively too. First of all, let's get one thing straight. It's not just about filling up your day with tasks. It's about focusing on the right tasks. Successful people plan their days, weeks, and even months in advance. They're not leaving things to chance. They sit down, they prioritize, and they figure out exactly what needs to be done and when. It's about knowing what matters most. Successful people aren't interested in busy work. They're focused on the big picture. They look at the things that will bring the most value to their lives and careers, and they dedicate their time to those things. Think about it. How many times have you been busy all day? But at the end of it, you didn't feel like you really accomplished anything. You checked a bunch of things off your to-do list, but you didn't move any closer to your goals. This happens to a lot of people. And it happens because they don't know how to manage their time effectively. They get distracted by the small stuff, the things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. They waste time on things that don't bring them any closer to their ultimate goals. But successful people aren't like that. They don't let distractions control them. They focus on what truly matters. They know that being busy doesn't always mean being productive. You can fill up your day with endless tasks. But if those tasks aren't getting you closer to your goals, then you're just wasting time. Successful people don't waste time. They spend their time on high-impact activities that move the needle forward. They know that their time is limited, and they make every moment count. One of the biggest secrets successful people use to manage their time is something that sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. They plan ahead. They don't wait until the day of to figure out what they're going to do. They plan their days, their weeks, and even their months. They know exactly what they need to accomplish and when they're going to do it. This helps them avoid the chaos and confusion that comes with trying to figure things out on the fly. They've already mapped out their priorities and tasks, which allows them to focus on what's most important. Effective time management also means learning to say no. Successful people know that their time is valuable, and they don't waste it on things that don't align with their goals. They understand that every time they say yes to something, they're saying no to something else. So they're very intentional about where they invest their time. They don't take on every request that comes their way. They're careful about the commitments they make, and they don't stretch themselves too thin. Another key to time management is eliminating distractions. Successful people are fully focused when they work. They don't allow their attention to wander. They turn off notifications, put their phones away, and eliminate anything that could take them off course. When they're working, they're all in. They know that if they're constantly checking their phone or getting sidetracked by unrelated tasks, they're wasting precious time. By eliminating distractions, they can get more done in less time and with greater focus. But time management isn't just about planning and focus. It's also about understanding the importance of rest. Successful people don't work nonstop without taking breaks. They know that rest is essential for staying sharp, maintaining energy, and avoiding burnout. They schedule time for relaxation, hobbies, and personal care. They understand that taking care of themselves allows them to be more productive in the long run. They know that without proper rest, they won't be able to perform at their best, so they make it a priority. Time management also means being flexible. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and successful people understand that. If something unexpected comes up, they adjust. They stay calm, reassess, and make new plans. They don't get thrown off course by setbacks. They adapt and move forward. Successful people are always thinking ahead, always looking for ways to make the best use of their time, even when things don't go as expected. Think about it. Every day is an opportunity. Every hour is an opportunity. The question is, how are you using it? Are you spending your time wisely, or are you letting it slip away? If you want to be successful, you need to start treating your time like the precious resource it is. Start planning your days. Focus on the tasks that will move you closer to your goals. Eliminate distractions and learn to say no to things that don't serve your purpose. And make sure you're taking care of yourself along the way. Because rest is just as important as work. Successful people know how to manage their time, and that's why they get ahead. They don't let time control them, they control their time. They prioritize, plan, and execute. They focus on what matters, and they stay disciplined about how they spend their time. If you want to achieve success, you have to do the same. Time is a limited resource, and the more effectively you manage it, the more success you'll create. So start taking control of your time today. Make every moment count. Number 7, they take calculated risks. If you're afraid to take risks, you're never going to move forward. You'll stay stuck, playing it safe, and wonder why your life feels like it's standing still. Successful people understand this reality better than most. They know that growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone. They get it. The biggest risk you can take is not taking any risks at all. Staying in that safe little bubble might feel secure, but it's the fastest way to keep yourself from ever achieving greatness. Let's be clear, though. This doesn't mean you should just throw caution to the wind and take any random risk that comes your way. Successful people don't take blind risks. They don't gamble with their future. They take calculated risks. They look at the situation, they weigh their options, and they make informed decisions. Every risk they take is deliberate. They understand that success doesn't come from just doing anything reckless or chasing every shiny opportunity that pops up. It comes from making smart, well-thought-out decisions that can move them forward in the right direction. Think about the times in your life when you felt like you were playing it too safe. Maybe it was a career move you didn't make because you were afraid of the unknown. Maybe it was a personal goal you didn't pursue because you didn't want to fail. Maybe it was an opportunity you passed on because it seemed too risky. Well, guess what? Successful people don't live in that space. They don't let fear or comfort hold them back from going after what they really want. They know that risk is a part of success. Without taking risks, you'll never know what could have been. You'll never grow, never improve, and certainly never achieve anything beyond what you already have. Now, that doesn't mean you should be careless. It doesn't mean you should make impulsive decisions without thinking things through. Successful people are risk takers, but they are also strategic. They gather information, evaluate the potential outcomes, and plan their next move carefully. It's about assessing the situation and figuring out if the potential reward is worth the risk. They don't jump into things blindly. They make sure they understand the stakes before they take action. They're not scared of failure, but they're also not foolish. Taking calculated risks is all about balance. You have to be willing to face uncertainty, but you also need to know when to step back, evaluate, and make the right call. There's a difference between rushing into something because it looks exciting and making a strategic decision after careful thought. Successful people understand this distinction, and they take the time to plan their moves. They don't just act on impulse, they act with purpose. But let me tell you this, no matter how carefully you plan, not every risk will pay off. That's just the way life is. Sometimes you will fail. Sometimes you'll take a risk that doesn't turn out the way you expected. But you know what? Successful people embrace that failure. They don't see it as a setback, they see it as a lesson. They learn from their mistakes, and they use that knowledge to make better decisions in the future. They know that each failure is a stepping stone to success. Without taking those risks, without failing and learning, you'll never grow. You'll never move forward. You'll stay stuck. But here's the truth. Staying in your comfort zone, avoiding risks, is actually the riskiest thing you can do. Because if you never take any chances, you're guaranteeing one thing: you'll never change. You'll never grow. You'll never reach your full potential. You'll be stuck in the same place, doing the same things, and wondering why your life isn't moving forward. You're playing it safe, but that safety is really just a slow death of your potential. Successful people know that life is all about taking calculated risks. They're willing to step into the unknown, willing to face the possibility of failure, because they understand that without those risks, they'll never get to the place they want to be. They know that success is built on a foundation of risks, challenges, and uncertainties. If you want to be successful, you have to start thinking the same way. Stop letting fear control your decisions. Stop avoiding risk just because it feels uncomfortable. Embrace it. Take that step outside your comfort zone. It's the only way to grow, to achieve, and to move closer to the person you want to be. Number 8, they keep going despite setbacks. We've all had moments where things didn't go the way we wanted, where the results weren't what we expected, or where we thought we couldn't go any further. But the key here is not the failure itself. It's how you respond to it. It's how you react when life knocks you down. That's what makes the difference between those who succeed and those who give up. Successful people know this truth deep down. They know that setbacks are not signs to stop. They're just part of the journey. They keep going, no matter how tough it gets. When things go wrong, successful people don't crumble. They don't throw in the towel or let failure defeat them. They don't let a bad day, a tough week, or even a failed project define who they are. They don't let it hold them back. Instead, they look at setbacks as part of the process. They see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. Failure is not a final destination for them. It's just a temporary stop on the road to something greater. Here's a powerful truth. Every single successful person has failed. Think about the greatest achievements in history. The people who have made a real impact. The people you admire. They've faced rejection, failure, and setbacks. But what sets them apart from those who never reach their goals is their refusal to quit. They didn't let failure keep them down. They didn't let it stop them from moving forward. They understood that setbacks are part of the journey. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get up and keep going. The journey to success is never a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and detours. You're going to face struggles along the way. You're going to experience things that don't go as planned. But the only way to fail is to stop trying. Every setback you face has a lesson attached to it. It's the difficult times that shape you, that teach you something about yourself and about life. When you keep going in the face of adversity, that's when you build real strength. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going smoothly, when the road is clear, and success feels within reach. But the real test comes when things go wrong. The people who are truly successful are the ones who keep going despite the setbacks. They know that the toughest challenges often lead to the biggest breakthroughs. The most valuable lessons are learned in moments of struggle. And let me make this clear. Setbacks don't just happen once, they will keep coming. Life is unpredictable and things won't always go as planned. Sometimes you'll feel like giving up. You'll feel like the effort you're putting in isn't worth it. But you have to remind yourself that every successful person has been through tough times. They faced doubts, criticism, and failures. What made them successful wasn't avoiding failure, it was pushing through it. It was refusing to give up no matter how many times they were knocked down. The challenges you face now are shaping you for what's ahead. You're building resilience. You're gaining experience. And you're learning what works and what doesn't. The road to success is never smooth, but it's the bumps along the way that make the journey meaningful. If everything was easy, there'd be no growth. There'd be no story. The struggles you face today are the things that will make your success even sweeter when you reach it. Here's the mindset you need to adopt. When things go wrong, you don't back down. You push forward. You don't let setbacks stop you. You let them fuel your determination. Each setback is a lesson. Each failure is an opportunity to learn. And each time you rise again, you're one step closer to where you want to be. Remember, the best chapters of your story haven't been written yet. The struggles you face today are just building the foundation for the amazing things that are to come. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. And the most important thing is to keep moving forward despite the obstacles. Success is about persistence. It's about staying in the game, even when things don't go the way you want. If you stay determined, if you keep going, no matter what, you'll get there. Number 9, they find solutions. Successful people have a mindset that sets them apart. They focus on finding solutions, not dwelling on problems. Life throws challenges at all of us, unexpected twists, difficulties, roadblocks. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle lies in how they handle these challenges. Successful people don't sit back and complain about what's wrong. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves or blaming others for their circumstances. Instead, they immediately start thinking about how to fix things. They know that problems are a part of life, but they are not the end of the road. When something goes wrong, a successful person doesn't say, "This is it, I'm done." They don't stop or give up. They ask themselves, "What's the solution? How can I fix this?" The solution is always there, but you have to look for it. It's not always easy. It might take time, creativity, and persistence. But successful people are persistent. They believe that every problem has a solution, and they will keep searching for it until they find it. Whether the challenge is personal, professional, or financial, they don't let themselves get stuck in the problem. They focus their energy on moving forward, on finding a way out. Think about the great innovators in history, the people who have changed the world. These are not the people who gave up when things didn't go their way. These are the people who kept looking for solutions, even when everything seemed impossible. Thomas Edison, for example, failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. But did he give up? Absolutely not. He understood that failure wasn't the end. He just hadn't found the right solution yet. And that mindset is what made him successful. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The ones who get stuck in the problem and the ones who find their way through it. When a door closes, successful people don't waste time staring at it, wondering why it's closed. They don't think, "Well, I guess that's the end of the road." Instead, they look for another door or they build a window. They know that there's always a way to make progress. It's about keeping your eyes open for opportunities, staying resourceful, and being willing to try different approaches until you find what works. In your own life, you've probably encountered situations where everything seemed hopeless. Maybe a project failed or something unexpected happened that made you feel stuck. In those moments, you can either choose to stay focused on the problem, letting it overwhelm you, or you can choose to find a solution. It's that simple. Successful people choose to find solutions. They ask themselves, "What can I do to make this better?" They don't blame others. They don't let frustration control them. They put their energy into finding a way to move forward. This mindset doesn't just apply to big problems. Even in small, everyday situations, successful people keep looking for ways to make things work. They don't let minor setbacks hold them back. Instead, they're constantly thinking, "How can I fix this? What's the next step?" And this constant focus on solutions gives them momentum. It gives them a sense of control. When you focus on the solution instead of the problem, you are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You take ownership of the situation and work toward making it better. The The key here is to never stop searching. Success is not about finding the right answer immediately, but about keeping the mindset that no matter what, you will find a way to win. You have to be willing to keep testing new approaches. You have to be willing to fail again and again until you find what works. That's what successful people do. They don't just throw in the towel when they don't have an immediate answer. They don't let one failed attempt define them. They stay persistent, knowing that solutions are out there if they keep looking. This solution-driven mindset isn't just about overcoming challenges, it's about growing through them. Every time you face a problem and find a way to solve it, you're growing stronger. You're building your problem-solving skills. You're becoming more resilient. And you're creating a life where success becomes inevitable because you have the ability to handle anything that comes your way. Problems are no longer roadblocks. They become stepping stones to greater achievements. Remember, life will always throw obstacles in your path. It's how you respond that matters. When you focus on solutions, you empower yourself. You take control of your life, your business, and your future. You stop being a passive observer of your challenges and become an active participant in overcoming them. And that's the mindset that successful people have. They don't get stuck. They find a way through. They find a way to win, no matter what life throws at them. Number 10, they do what they love. Success isn't just about the title you hold or the money in your bank account. It's not about how many followers you have or how big your house is. True success comes from waking up every day and feeling excited about what you're about to do. It comes from having the freedom to do what you love, knowing that every minute you spend is in line with your passion. Successful people understand this. They know that life is too short to spend on things that don't bring them joy or fulfillment. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that success is all about chasing external things, money, fame, or approval from others. While these things might bring temporary satisfaction, they won't bring lasting happiness. Successful people know that doing what they love is the ultimate reward. It's the secret to long-term happiness and fulfillment. When you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. There's no need to drag yourself out of bed each morning because you're waking up excited for the day ahead. You're ready to take on any challenge not because you have to, but because you get to. That's the power of passion. When you do something you love, your energy and focus increase. You're not just going through the motions. You're fully engaged, giving everything you've got because it matters to you. Every action you take is aligned with your purpose. That's what successful people do. They find something that excites them, something they're passionate about, and they make it their mission to do it every day. They understand that this is the key to living a truly successful life. When you're doing what you love, the work feels lighter, the challenges feel easier, and the successes feel sweeter. Now, if you're in a situation where you're stuck doing something you don't enjoy, you have to ask yourself, how long are you willing to settle? Life is too short to spend your days in misery or just scraping by. Successful people are committed to building lives that reflect their true passions, and they aren't afraid to make changes along the way. It might mean stepping out of your comfort zone, taking a risk, or making sacrifices, but it's worth it. Because once you're doing what you love, you'll experience a level of fulfillment that success driven by money alone can never give you. This doesn't mean you can't pursue other goals or take care of responsibilities. You can still be a responsible, hardworking person and do what you love. But success comes when you figure out how to make your passion a part of your everyday life. Whether it's starting your own business, pursuing a hobby, or simply dedicating time to something you enjoy, successful people find ways to weave their passions into their routines. Ask yourself this: what makes you excited to get up in the morning? What could you talk about for hours without getting bored? Find that thing and make it a part of your life. Successful people do it because they know that success is not just a financial destination. It's a state of being. When you're doing what you love, you feel good about yourself, you feel alive, and you feel connected to something bigger than just the grind. But here's the real key. It's not enough to just know what you love. You need to take action. Many people sit around dreaming about their passion without ever doing anything about it. They're afraid of failure, or they don't know where to start, or they get discouraged by how difficult it seems. Successful people take action. They start somewhere, even if it's small, and they keep going. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They make the perfect moment. They understand that progress comes through action. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to creating a life that you love. And remember, doing what you love isn't always going to be easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, and sacrifices along the way. But those obstacles don't stop success.